'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Marillaba, Belleville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara, Connemara, Strathround, Proserpine, Alladala, Darwin, Gingin, Lillacwin,
Chuck in a bit of Patchy Wallach.
I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah, we're off to Speed now at 11 minutes to 11 o'clock, where, Rob, one of your mates is on the phone. What do you got?
Yes, indeed. My work last week took me to Speed in the Mallee for a machinery field day that's been going for 44 years, and I've known about it. First time I've ever been there, and I got inquisitive, Neil. You know I've got an inquisitive mind, and I thought, how on earth has this happened? What's going on here? So I made some inquiries, and I found out the history of it, and it's all come out of a Lions Club meeting 45 years ago in Speed, and a man who's been involved in that for the entire period. His name is Kevin Emonson. He joins us this morning. Kevin, good morning and welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show.
Good morning. How are you?
Excellent. Enjoyed our conversation about this, and I just want to put it in context. We're out in the middle of a paddock. There's nothing around except $300 million worth of agricultural machinery. And I want to get you, ladies and gentlemen, get your head around this.
And hopefully some people.
And there was lots of people, but $300 million worth of agricultural machinery and not a corporate fingernail in sight, because it's totally run by the community volunteers of Speed and districts. Kevin, that is an extraordinary story. Let's go all the way back. How did it all start?
When the Lions Club was first being looked like forming in Speed, they looked for something to might raise a bit of money to get our club started. Our inaugural president, Bob Roberts, he suggested that we have a bit of machinery display. There'd been one in Seal Lake, the hospital had run, and he thought it might raise a few dollars and we might get a few people to it. And that's how we started 45 years ago.
So was the concept that today is now dealers and agencies are more than happy to come and put their wares on show, because the Australian agricultural industry is massive, and the machinery that runs it is very much required. So there was no trouble at all. People were happy to bring their gear there. But when it started, how did you convince people that they needed to bring their stuff to something that no one had ever heard of?
A couple of us went and saw some of the local dealers to see if they'd be interested. They'd give it a go, see what happened, and I suppose they thought it'd be once only, so they wouldn't have to worry about us anymore.
You shut those people up at Speed, eh?
We got 38 exhibitors. We put them in a circle. We raised $2,800, and we thought we was on a money spinner. And it all grew from there. And then the next year, a few more people heard about it and inquired. The first one was only 1 day. Then we went to 2 days, and it's progressed there. From there, we've got exhibitors from every state in Australia now.
So one question that we probably should answer before we talk too much more is, where the blazes is Speed? I've been there, but there'll be a lot of people who listen that don't have any sense of where it is.
If you know where Horsham is, and put a mark in the middle of that on a map, you'll find Speed.
That's magnificent.
and I say this with all the respect that I can muster, Kevin, it's not what you would call a bustling metropolis. You haven't got thousands of people living in the township of Speed that can organise an event like this.
No, I suppose you really call us isolated.
Very much so.
The community, we've talked a lot on this show about the communities that are disappearing, particularly sporting clubs, and in the area, Speed probably had a footy club at some stage, and it would have been gobbled up in the famous Tempe Gorapatchi Wallach footy club, my favourite one of all time. But the community still needs to function, and it's things like this and your Lions Club that are playing an important role in bringing things together. And what caught my eye about the Speed Field Day, Kevin, was the fact that there was so many of these little community organisations that were involved in making this work.
Well, that's what it's run for. It's run for the community. It's not only an agricultural machinery field day. It's run for the community so we can. A lot of organisations use it for their fundraiser for the year. Just to give you a bit of an idea of what we happen to do this year, just in the catering groups and the MMD auction we had. The catering groups and those that help with parking, all that sort of stuff, they'll get $70,000 out of it.
Whew.
And MMD, we were able to give them a donation on top of that of $20,000.
Yeah, we should mention that Terry Danaher, who's comes from Hungary in the Riverina, he came down to support his brother's charity, and he was very happy. He was a great ambassador, and obviously very happy with the amount of money that his organisation was to raise. So again, you're spreading out across not just your own tight community around Speed and the Mallee, but this horrible MND situation that you're able to help as well.
Yeah, no, well, that's what the Lions clubs are all for. We support like Children's Hospital and all those sorts of groups with their fundraising throughout the year. And it gives us a bit of a buzz and a kick to think that we can do it and do it in a fairly substantial way.
Now, Kevin, I sense that a lot of Lions clubs right across the country have this consistent contribution from their members. They turn up every month, they have little projects, but to put something like this on, and I guess you've got an ageing membership, it must be an enormous amount of work for the month leading up, probably, and a fortnight or so afterwards for the tidy-up to make this all work.
Well, for some of them, the committee, it's a 12-month commitment. We have to have commitment from people, otherwise it don't work. So we're just proud of the fact that we were able to put it together. We've got people that support us, and people are keen to support it. Because if they weren't keen, if you had to really sort of work hard to get people, it just wouldn't work.
The remarkable thing, Rob, is I've just checked, the research department has just checked, the population of Speed at the last census was 78.
Yeah.
And yet they can still pull together a community that does this sort of stuff. Presumably people outside of the town help a little as well, but that's extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it probably has a true reflection of the Mallee region in general, Kevin, that although Speed and you fellas there are the core to it, it can't function without that wider support. And I guess that support could be up to 150 kilometres away from groups that attach themselves to this. And $70,000 in communities like that, in one function, that's an incredible amount of money, and you should be really congratulated for it.
Well, we feel very proud of the fact that it works well, and it doesn't only happen this year, that'll happen again next year.
Yeah, well, I look forward to coming back again and taking in some hospitality at Patchy Wallach, and after 11 o'clock we'll have another little story about that trip and a person that I met at the Patchy Wallach Hotel, and again that sense of community and Australian that makes us all very proud. But Kevin, you and your organisation are one of those. You should be, and you sound very proud of what you've done. Congratulations on a 44-year effort, which will become 45 before we can blink the eye, and who knows, it could be $400 million worth of machinery. And I think you said 38 sites first year. I think there was 250 sites, but over 300 organisations were represented at this place in the middle of nowhere. It is amazing, and congratulations again to you and your gang.
Thanks very much for that. This year said there were 78 people in Speed. That must have been one day when there was quite a few people there, because I don't think we get that many most times.
That was the official census, actually,
Yeah,
so probably covers more. Thanks for joining us, Kevin. We'll look forward to hearing more about next year's.
Thank you. Thanks for you.
Good on you, mate. All the very best.
There is Kevin Edmondson from Speed.